Good morning, everybody. So today I have this cool little video I'm going to do, and I think a lot of people. I think this word gets a bad rap, but it's so essential to moving forward in anything you want to do. And the word is discipline. And discipline's just got a bad rap because when I was growing up, when you were being disciplined, that was not a very pleasant experience. I can remember going to school, and of course, when you get in trouble, when I was growing up, they would send you to the principal's office where you would very well learn the clear definition of discipline, which was not a very pleasant thing. And I think a lot of us have that stigma about us right now, right? We're like, hey, this is discipline. I don't want to do it. It's like it's got some kind of negative vibe to it, even though the way that I'm talking about it is probably the one of the most positive things, excuse me, that could ever happen in life, which is just repetition. See, I look at discipline as just simply mechanical. It is not anything bad. I actually attach zero emotion to it. I don't make it anything other than what it is. I look at it for exactly what it is, which is showing up. That's it. It's just that simple. Let me give you an example. In the morning, it, if you go ahead and set the alarm, whatever time you want, but just make sure it's consistent. Set the alarm, and you actually get up, and you do that for the next 365 days. What's going to happen when you set the alarm and get up is your body's going to take over. It's going to do exactly whatever you have planned. So that one discipline, which is just the mechanics of getting up, waking up, is all you really need to worry about. And the same thing happens when people get caught up in the procrastination game, right? I don't want to do it, and we get all these emotional mind blocks to everything that you can possibly think of that comes out into you get kind of overwhelmed. Man, it's too much work. It's just a lot of BS. And we all do it. Don't want to make the call. Don't want to do this. Don't want to go there. Easy enough. Easy enough. I feel you because we've all been there. It's not like it. We don't have to pretend it doesn't happen. But what I found out is if you will just set the clock for when you're going to do what you're going to do and just show up for it. Example, if you say, hey, look, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I need to be doing this particular type of work. You may hate it. Doesn't matter how much you hate it. But 8 o'clock in the morning, just show up wherever that work is at and make yourself do it. If you can make yourself do it, the game's going to change for you. Period. Because it just starts building momentum, which we already had that conversation before about momentum. And it's always comes down to one word, the discipline. Did you have the time? Did you make the time? And did you show up? That's it. And that is the simplicity of everything that I'm talking about. It's just that simple. But we get it. We make it complicated, right? I mean, that's where all this comes into play. We make everything so complicated. I'm having a bad day. I don't feel like it. So and so pissed me off. I mean, they don't appreciate me. They block. We take this mechanical thing and make it so emotional, and then we turn around. And I see it all the time. I see it with my kids. I see it with people I work with. I see it everywhere, and people just refuse to stay on a disciplined regiment, and they just have this thing in their head where they just will not do it, and the results show. But if you will take the time, I promise you, if you can just take the time and figure it out, hey, I'm going to show up at this time, I'm going to do this, and then just show up. I mean, if you can just figure out how to show up, it's going to work. Now, through life, I've been able to read tons of books. I'm a big book reader. Y'all probably don't know that, but I really do read a lot of books. And one of the reoccurring things in most books has anything to do with success or personal development or anything. They will always be a section in it, and they will talk about discipline. And most experts agree that the simplicity of the discipline of just showing up is really one of the most powerful things that you could do to advance any goal that you will ever have. It's kind of like, yesterday we are talking about the farmer, he plants the seed, it grows. But the same thing happens with discipline. It tends to reward people that are disciplined, seem to be rewarded at a much higher level. And I think it's because you don't let emotions get involved, and therefore, when opportunity arises, you have a tendency to take advantage of it. Because you're going to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you've already got that mandated for the rest of your life. Whatever you're going to do, and so therefore your mind doesn't have to think about that anymore, right? So your mind's open for opportunity. And I think that's probably one of the key ways that discipline really works is it really starts taking things and simplify them. Because, if you just get it in your mind, the mechanics of a discipline is just to show up. And, they call that the disciplines, like the big arts and all that stuff. I mean, it's because what do? They show up. They show up, then they pick up the instrument, then they do whatever, the dances or whatever. But it's all about showing up. And so I'm just trying to give you this little tip and trick here. If you can take the time to just write down a schedule, and then just try to follow it. Just take a day or two and just try to follow it. It doesn't even matter, it doesn't have to be over the top. You don't have to be solving the world's problems in 1 hour. You can just literally work on you yourself. Hey, I could benefit from starting at this time. Okay, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to show up and do it anyway. I'm going to be disciplined to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. Actually, don't make it that complicated. Just tell yourself you're going to show up to investigate the problem. If you will show up to investigate the problem, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Most of us love to solve problems. So once we're there, guess what we're going to do? We're going to do whatever needs to be done. So the trick in our mind is to show up. So that's the deal. If you can show up, you can win. What happens if you don't show up? I'll wait. I'll tell you what happens when you don't show up. Nothing. You're back to where you were at yesterday. It all goes back to zero. You start back at the zero ground line. You've got nothing. So as soon as you can figure out how to become disciplined, will be the way that you can put all that momentum to work for you. You can put everything in the universe has got to offer to you will start coming down by the buckets. But it does require that, a little bit of effort, not a whole hell of a lot. I mean, you really just got to show up. That's it. I know it's one of those real deep conversations that we got going on. And just so you guys know, I'm kind of shooting from the hip when I'm talking to you guys. And I just decided, this is one of my disciplines I've decided to have. Because I tend to want to make things perfect. So, therefore, I never do videos anymore. I mean, I haven't been doing them into this last week because I was like, I never, it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to get it completely the way I want it. And I figured, hey, one of the things that I can do is I can do a little bit of this stuff with you guys every day, spend 5-10 minutes, whatever. And it doesn't take any time. We're talking less than 10 minutes. And what am I doing? I'm sitting here for 10 minutes just talking to you. But I had to make that point, and what I had to do was I just have to hit live on my phone, and once I go live, I don't have a choice but to sit here and visit, right? I can sit there, and I just got to deal with it for the next 10 minutes. But what happens if I do this for 365 days? That means I have 365 new videos on my YouTube channel, which means YouTube loves it, the algorithm loves it, and I would have done that. And none of them being perfect because they're all just live. You see, you got to do something. And that's how you put it in motion. Now, the old me would be like, no. I'm going to need multiple camera angles. I'm going to need to do this. I'm going to need to do that. I'm going to need to do this. And on and on and on I'd have went. But I'm just using this for an example. Just do it. Doesn't got to be perfect. All you got to do is just show up. Just show up. That's how all the big winners do it. They don't feel it every day, But there's also the thrill of the kill too. So if there's a second side of this coin. Once you start getting into that disciplines, and then you have a competition going on in your brain. You'll be like, hell yeah, I got up at 1 minute. I heard the alarm, boom, bounce, I'm out, done. And be like 8:01, yeah, I was there. Not only was I there early. And so you start getting into your mind to be that mindset of a person, and you will be amazed at how this stuff will change for you. It's crazy. The auction, A lot of people take that like, and we're really lazy about that, because it kind of turns into kind of a social event, kind of a this, kind of a that. And instead of us being real aggressive, we just kind of, get there. But just on auction day, just be like, you know what? I'm getting there 2 hours early, period. Done. Whatever. That's just what I would do. But, you've got to make up your own choice, do your own thing, you make your own decisions, but try to think about it. Think about it today. Challenge yourself. Put yourself a couple disciplines for tomorrow. Just say, at 4 o'clock, I'm going to eat a piece of salad, whatever. And then just start building on it, because the more disciplines you got, the more money you got. That's your great tip for today. I hope you guys, guys can get some kind of use out of this. If you want to talk about anything, just let me know, because I'm always available. It looks like we got a comment. Oh, hey, it's Autobuff. Not even professional media companies have perfect YouTube videos. Yes, Autobuff. You know what, man? You are completely correct. They don't. They don't. And you know what? It's kind of stupid to go for the perfect video anyway, because, I mean, at the end of the day, no one really cares. We're basically there for the information. Happy days. Good morning. What's up, brother? Yeah, so we're all kind of, we hit YouTube for information and it's a little entertaining, and the more screwed up it is, it seems to be a little more entertaining than usual, right? Because if they screw it up, then we can kind of make fun of them. It's great. But I got to tell you, like, YouTube is a viable source. Let's see. Have fun with it. Yeah, that's right. And then, yo, what's up? And I seen something about flipping cars there for a second. I don't know where that went, but whatever. Yeah, so okay, so here's the thing about YouTube, right? I'm just going to share this with y'all. I'm just ranting. I got a few minutes this morning. But, so here's the thing with YouTube. I've made, and I can show you, I've made over $100,000 on YouTube AdSense. Okay, that's a lot of money, because I've never invested any money to make a YouTube video. I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, I have Adobe Premiere Pro and some cameras and stuff, but I'm talking about I made $100,000 and basically did nothing. I mean, I didn't, and Autobuff will tell you, he's been following my channel a long time. I mean, I'd pick up a phone and just walk around with it and get you drunk as hell, and, just no editing, no cutting, just like raw. I probably made the worst YouTube channel that was ever. Matter of fact, if there is a class that says, hey, this is how you don't want to do a YouTube channel, they're probably going to feature Jamie Jones, the car man. And then, it's crazy, but for some reason we kind of devolved from that, and we're like, hey, you know what, we got to do more cameras, we need stabilization, we need gimbals, we need this, we need that, we need all these things that are, we probably don't actually need. But, one thing that I can do is I can show up every day and hit the live button, and then when I'm doing some repair work or got away, I can flip one, do this, do that. I mean, at least, I'm doing something, right? So, and that's back to this whole thing about being committed to something and following the discipline, because it is easy. It would have been easy today to go, you know what, I don't have 10 minutes to jump on here. But you know what? I would have just lost something, because you know what? I'm getting to communicate with a couple of you guys, man. We're all having a little conversation here, having fun. And that's part of life, right? It's enriching. And that's what happens when the disciplines start kicking in. People start realizing, hey, this guy's going to be on here between 9 and 10. I can be like, hey, what's up? And, a quick question, whatever. You can just say hi, whatever. And, that momentum builds, right? And then the same thing happens in your personal life, right? You just start showing up. Everybody knows you're going to be there early. Everybody knows they can count on you. Everybody knows what you're about. Everybody knows what you're going to do. Everybody knows what's going to happen. It's a way to win. It's a way to win. All right, well, guys, I'll stop torturing y'all, man. And I will catch y'all tomorrow, man, on the flip side. Let's see. Missed the flip. Oh, wait. Hold on. It looks like I got something else here. Even 1 million views on a few. That's right. Your flipping cars 101s are the ones I watch. 101 flipping videos. Miss those flipping talks. Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, we'll have to have some more of those, guys. All right, man, but nothing but love and peace, man, from the RVA. We'll get back to Guy tomorrow, man. Maybe we talk about flipping a car. All right, peace out, guys.